I took her in my arms, and I loved her. Extravagantly. I am certain it had nothing to do with my family and the money I stood to inherit.
Oh, Richard, how I have grown to adore you.
Though I did not trouble to inform her, I had long since been disinherited. But she remained troubled by the echoes of her past.
Oh, Richard, I know Jack. If he finds me, well...
Have you mind about Jackie, boy? I will have him taken care of.
The next week, Jack was found with his stomach wide, his innards around his knees, and his balls in his mouth.
We were married within the month. So you see, mine is the legal claim. Preposterous. I will admit the wind had abandoned my sail, leaving me momentarily without billow. You have survived, sir! Take your lace and be gone! Something about him did not quite, or cannot place my finger to it. A medical man. Something on the tip of my heels. She asks of you. I am certain, once you see her...
Be certain of this, I will not see her. But the following week, when we're engaged to tryst...
I have someone I'd like you to meet.
How did I find her? For my part, I'd sooner pick aside my liver with some onions than embrace her.
And my heart filled with the sight of the two of them together.
Now, there was a compelling innocence in her eyes. Was I ever so innocent, I think? Can you see it down my belly? I can feel the second heart beating. I can no longer be on my own. The sound of her drowns me out.
Perhaps we could call him Gerald if he was a boy, Louise if he was a girl.
I don't like the name Louise. Louise, there's something about that name. I watched this small creature writhe and struggle to become little creature in my arms. I could not credit that it came from me.
And when I held her in my arms, everything pale and limiting in this world vanished. I cut my morphine way back. Brandy to half rations.
That night, after I was drawn to his sweet scent. As I stood over her, I knew now what it was that I wanted. This singular and unprecedented desire within me. So I left her there. And I left Richard sleeping. And never looked back for a second. I knew if I did turn my gaze backwards, then something would turn to dust. That was not a chance I would now take. He would be a guardian, and a good enough one for all his faults.
And my heart filled with the sight of the two of them together. The cat chose that moment to throw a fit and screamed and bawled until I had to take her home. But at least now, the ice was broken.
After he left, I took to my bed. For in that mood I was likely to adopt kittens or some such.
And the world turned, and still I did not speak of it. And so, visiting old Cheng's one eve, to puff the Chinese, I came upon, what's his name? Dead to the rational. Crusty his chin. I had a fountain pen to hand. I could bend it in his eye as easily as cough. But wary of the public nature of the locus, I contented myself by urinating in his helmet. I just had the strangest dream. Coleridge, a medical man. Urea! Now, bear with me, sir. I wager if we pursue the matter, we will find Ethan Coleridge without a sustainable alibi for the time frame of the Lambeth murders. He is a medical man after a fashion, certainly skilled with the blade and considerable knowledge of anatomy. And might I point out that just last week he was caught exiting the morgue carrying a bag of hands. These items are necessary for the furtherance of my work.
Nonsense! Coleridge is one of the finest sorts. Tremendous bridge player, an all-round capital fellow. The providence of the hands has been well established and he has been duly chastised. I will hear no more of it. And mind, you do not pursue this matter. You are on thin enough ice as it is, Ruskin.